who am I? You know, who am I to the people? You know, I have a kid now, like I said before. Honestly, it's just that fatherhood time. You know, I haven't yet spent much more time with my son as I would want to. And he'll understand that as he gets older. If I can see, like, how can I change and how can I give my son more knowledge rather than luxury things, then I'm gonna do that. My father, though, is the one that really, he knows me best. He's seen me at my worst, he's seen me at my best, you know, and he's gonna be the one that definitely is gonna tell me the things that I really need to focus on how can I beat this guy. I trust him with my life.
Before the crowd roars and the first punch is thrown, the real battle is already underway. Not inside the ropes or beneath bright lights, but in those unseen moments where confidence is challenged and routines are broken. Two warriors, each driven by their own tempo, are heading toward the same showdown from completely different paths.
And I just want everyone to see that, you know, my father didn't become trainer of the year just by luck. You know, in 2020, you know, we beat the most decorated fighter pound for pound during that time, Vasily Lomachenko. That was from him. You know, he told me how the game plan had to go.
And he'll push him and he'll freaking just try dogging him. But he's trained for that. He's trained to keep on doing that every round. So when he spars, I tell him, okay, you could box. Yeah. You could box, but what's gonna happen when you can't box no more? You get tired of it and you feel that guy's weight. Yeah.
Touch your body, go on top, and then you go on top. Good. Go. That head.
Concentrate.
You're doing things I can almost never do.
Lopez has always lived in that uneasy zone where self-belief starts to look like rebellion, where his confidence isn't built on applause but strengthened by people questioning him. He's never needed perfect conditions to deliver his best. In fact, disorder has often been the spark that brings out his sharpest form. And that's exactly why his build-up toward the Shakur Stevenson fight is so intriguing.
A lot of the times, you know, I didn't want to go into the gym. I didn't, you know, especially when I had to swim. You know, that was painful. But it was the training, the work ethics that you have to put in between the miles of running and the depths of how you have to sacrifice your whole body in this. You know, a lot of people don't understand, even to this day, how much we have to really do, how much we beat up our body.
So when he comes here, you go to the body. When he comes here, go to the body. Yes, sir. Oh, beautiful. He can't touch it, champ. He can't touch it.
This time around, the distractions haven't thrown him off, they've locked him in. Away from the cameras, Teofimo's camp has centered on sharpening the skills that don't depend on hype or emotion, managing range more effectively, keeping composure between bursts of aggression, and adding control to situations where he once relied purely on instinct.
You know who that is, right?
Like, really looking.
My father put me in with the top guys, professional fighters at like 12, 13 years old. You know, and that was something that I really enjoyed the most because it was hard. I would cry, I would run away, I didn't like it. And I would tell him like, you know, this is not for me, I want to quit. And he would just, nope, no, you could do this. My father would flip it around sometimes and say, okay, you want to quit? We'll quit. And literally I would stop for maybe a day or two and bug him, be like, hey, I want to go back in the gym. So I believe we had this connection, obviously, since birth.
The focus isn't only on raw strength or quick surges anymore. It's about staying calm, choosing the right moments, and knowing that against a fighter like Shakur, opportunities are limited. This training phase feels built on responsibility, less performing for the audience, more self-reflection and correction. Every workout seems to circle back to one key test. Can Teofimo remain dangerous and precise when the pace drops and patience becomes everything?
Camp, you gotta be serious and stuff. Yeah, that's to get focused on the fight, but gotta make it a fun camp. So, right now, I'm gonna blow my dad's ear.
In the study of ancient America. But it was wrong.
Don't cover me.
The old notion has been completely overturned. Fossilized human footprints have been found in the New Mexican desert.
I don't feel good, bro. Why you do that to me, bro? And you film that too, man? You better erase that
He understands that Shakur becomes strongest when rivals lose their patience. That's why the focus now is on staying composed and applying pressure without forcing mistakes. This isn't the Teofimo who hunts for highlight moments. This is someone learning how to dictate the flow of the fight. And that kind of control can make him more dangerous than ever.
It's very important to take breaks in between camps, or even in camp. We're so focused at what's at task that we end up forgetting to have fun. We have a long week of training. Let's reward ourselves for that week.
On the opposite end of that training journey is Shakur Stevenson, a boxer who's never depended on disorder to find his rhythm, because structure and control have always been where he's most comfortable.
Today we're doing sparring breakfast. So we're gonna do a little mixed potato hash with some chicken, sausage, and some protein pancakes, and some ancient grain sourdough. Ready.
Too mean, too slow. Too slow. Get out the way. It's all that matters. It's all that matters. If I'm Zach, I'm gonna keep walking to you and over there. He gotta catch me. It's only 3 runs.
Yeah, 10 ready. We need to be pushed today. Bring the smoke, baby.
That dude ain't going into losing weight.
My daddy goes Yep, that's the body. Yep, that's that body. July 12th, demolishment. We're gonna demolish it. Guys way too slow. Shakur's too sharp, too fast, too strong.
Where Teofimo is polishing his game by learning when to hold back, Shakur sharpens his by cutting away anything unnecessary. His build-up for this bout has been calm, methodical, almost surgical, centered on steady repetition, clear execution, and making smart choices even when tired. This camp isn't about changing who he is, it's about perfecting what already works. Every drill is designed to strengthen the traits that make him so effective, managing space, staying balanced, precise timing, and keeping his mind steady regardless of the chaos around him.
There we go, there we go. Left 15, all the way down.
Tweaking a day.
Yeah, that's that prep. That's what you already been doing?
Yeah.
That got it.
We'll see that.
Good. That's good.
I feel great. Sprints kind of be getting me right, get my conditioning right. Sometimes in a fight could turn into a sprint.
Shakur prepares like someone who plans for resistance, not shock. He's getting ready for Teofimo's sudden attacks, the roar of the crowd, and those moments when the tide feels like it could turn. The goal is staying grounded no matter how loud or wild things get. He doesn't hurry through rounds, doesn't hunt for reactions, and never mistakes constant movement for real control. His approach is all about precision, cutting off choices, setting traps, and drawing errors without jumping into reckless exchanges. Shakur understands this matchup won't be decided by passion or punch counts. It will be settled in those brief pauses between shots, where smart positioning outplays raw strength and calm thinking beats instinct. His training shows that clearly. He isn't in camp to make statements. He's there to follow the plan.
Big fight coming up. I heard you was the one that wanted to fight, right?
Yeah. I actually set this fight up. And I honestly did it because I wanted to push myself. I know that Teo is a tremendous fighter. I know he's on an extremely high level. And I feel like, well, I know that I can beat him, but I know that this should be a tough set, so I'm ready.
Who were some of the other options you had?
Ramon Roach.
That would have been a real good fight, man. But I mean, Teo, he's a bigger name, though, so I see why you went with him.
Yeah, bigger name, and also he got the more accolades. He's been undisputed before. He's won belts at 35, won belts at 30, at 40. So he's more accomplished. So I know that would be a better name on my resume.
While Shakur is focused on sharpening calm and accuracy, Teofimo Lopez is revealing something important in his own way. He's speaking like someone who truly believes in defending what is earned. Listening to him, it doesn't sound like he's trying to sell confidence to the public. It feels more like he's reinforcing it within himself. This isn't about loud hype. It's about protecting what he sees as his ground. When he says Shakur won't just take what is fought for, that doesn't come off as marketing. It sounds personal. And honestly, there's a level of awareness in how he talks that stands out. The gaming references, the discussions about Roy Jones Jr., and the studying of legends like Jones and Henry Armstrong, that points to more than just swagger. It shows curiosity and strategy. Teofimo understands that pure speed and strength won't be enough against someone as sharp as Shakur. So he's searching for extra layers, misdirection, timing off feints, and subtle tricks that don't make highlight clips but can quietly steal rounds and change fights.
Well, you know, I think at certain points in your career, right, you have to realize that you don't know everything, right? And sometimes you have those, like the likes of Roy Jones Jr., who was arguably the best fighter in the 90s, even the early 2000s. And for him to want to, help me in some sense, maybe there's something that I'm not possibly there yet with that he could possibly add to my arsenal, and I would love to see more. I would love to learn more. That's like some type of mentorship.
I really respect that he openly acknowledges he doesn't have all the answers. That's growth, not weakness. And when he talks about mindset, faith, and destiny, you can sense how much this fight represents his legacy in his own mind. He's not trying to outtalk Shakur, he's trying to outbelieve him. Even his response to Shakur being called boring is smart. He doesn't brush it off, he owns it and says, in essence, fine. That's exactly why I'm here to shake things up. That's classic Teofimo. He doesn't avoid challenges, he confronts them head-on. So while Shakur is perfecting control in the calm, Teofimo is building conviction amid the chaos, studying, adapting, and reminding himself that when the bell rings, belief combined with preparation can dictate the fight. Whether you agree with him or not, there's no denying his focus. He's locked in, not scattered. That's a version of Teofimo Lopez that's genuinely dangerous as he steps into this matchup.
What's it like seeing him now kind of face to face? When you look at him, what do you see? Because obviously you're not locked in just yet, and the closer it gets to a fight, obviously things turn a little bit. But when you do look at Shakur, what do you think of him?
I think, I don't think too much of it. You know, I think that he believes in himself. That's one thing. But I'm here to destroy his dreams and all that he wants to do and become. You can't take this from me. I worked very hard for it. I've bled for this, and I'm not taking nothing from him, but I just believe that what's gonna happen next is for destiny in the boxing ring to.
Right after hearing Teofimo speak with that mix of confidence, introspection, and a clear sense of ownership, the conversation shifts sharply when Shane Mosley steps in. It's like a seasoned strategist tapping the chessboard and saying, "Let's get real here." When Mosley calls this matchup a true 50-50ths, it isn't hedging, it's respect for the threat both fighters pose. I love his framing. It's not about hype, stats, or records. It's one straightforward question: who will assert control first? And that's where the real tension lies. You have Shakur aiming for a controlled, measured fight, round by round, keeping everything under calm control. On the other side is Teofimo, who can instantly change the pace, angles, and tempo, turning the fight into unpredictable chaos. Mosley's reminder that Teofimo can box intelligently when he wants is crucial, because casual fans often forget this. This isn't just a reckless puncher hoping for a lucky break. This is a fighter who's figured out someone like Lomachenko in real time, which is far from ordinary.
I think you're going to need a couple of rounds, but the first round is going to be very interesting. Maybe you see some tails, but I think maybe 2 or 3 you're going to start seeing one leave the other. Because I don't think that, well, maybe, I mean, Shakur might show some different, if he has to go after Teofimo, he might show some different type of heart that we haven't seen, or different type of fighting we haven't seen, and vice versa, you know, whereas Teofimo's hitting him with different shots off the angle, that is kind of giving, you know, Shakur Stevenson trouble. We'll see about that.
And when the conversation turns to the weight jump, it's clear this is veteran analysis, not panic or assumptions. It's a calm evaluation. Let's see how the speed holds up when the added weight comes into play. I also appreciate how Mosley avoids rushing to declare a favorite. He points out that the opening rounds are essentially reconnaissance, but by round 2 or 3, someone's strategy will start dominating the fight. Either Shakur quietly asserts himself with positioning and timing, or Teofimo begins landing those unusual angle shots that make his opponent question their entire plan. The funniest part? Mosley casually dismisses early predictions, shrugging as if to say, "I'm just observing." And that perfectly captures this fight. You study it not to feel smarter, but to see how razor-thin the margins are. This isn't about who looks better on paper, it's about who can force the other fighter into a version of themselves they're not comfortable with. And when a Hall of Famer openly admits he's grabbing popcorn instead of a scorecard, that's your cue. Buckle up, because this matchup is going to expose something real.
I think people overlook of Teofimo is he can box when he wants to. Like, he's shown he has a slick style too when he wants to do that.
When he wants to do that. So if you have a slick style and you got power and you got the speed too, and you're fighting at 140, so let's see, I don't know if Shakur Stevenson is going to get slower moving up in weight or not, where Teofimo can hit him. Maybe he was really fast at 130, 26-30, maybe 35, but 40, you put on a little bit more weight. I think that he holds the weight probably really, really good, but you just don't know.
Coming off Shane Mosley's breakdown, the insights of a veteran who's witnessed every form of chaos a ring can produce, Wade Plemon adds a new perspective that makes you sit up and pay attention. Now it's not just about clashing styles, it's about timing, intention, and the sport finally getting it right. Listening to him, you realize, this is exactly what boxing has been craving. 2 elite fighters in their prime, not waiting years, not hiding behind excuses, actually signing on when it counts. Wade's excitement doesn't feel forced. You can tell he sees this as a fight that matters, not just one that entertains. And he's right. This isn't about highlight reels or viral moments. It's about mastery. Shakur isn't here to dazzle casual fans, he's here to command space, pace, and ego. Teofimo isn't here to merely survive rounds, he's here to prove that his confidence is real, not just noise. I love how Wade leans into the idea of delusion on both sides because that's the uncomfortable truth. Great fighters must believe they're unbeatable, even when logic says otherwise. Shakur sees Teofimo as overconfident, Teofimo sees Shakur as not having met his true level yet. That dynamic is exactly why this matchup works. When 2 fighters each believe they hold the final answer, the ring becomes the ultimate judge, and it doesn't lie. It clarifies everything.
That Teofimo's delusional, Shakur has that same delusion. It's what propels both of them to the highest degree. Now here was them facing off a couple of months ago, I think, at this point. And this is what I was talking about. Shakur is in stature the bigger guy, which is crazy because he fights at the lower weight. He is a bit more skinny, obviously, but now he's coming up to 140, and it feels like Teofimo Lopez can't go much bigger than 140. Like, I've heard him talk about going to 147. That would be the highest I would think Teo should go, but here's their face-off.
Real quick, Izzy, you should be in the middle. I know, I'm the...
Yeah.
There you go.
Like, these dudes don't hate each other, and you don't necessarily have to. There are certain fights where that level of venom is needed, and it's
what makes Wade's breakdown hit so hard is how grounded it feels. Despite all the hype, there's no pretending this is just a brawl, no overselling knockouts that may never come. This is high-level problem-solving in real time, with real consequences. I find myself nodding when he calls it a chess match, because that's exactly what it is, just with egos attached. Shakur's approach is all about controlled offense, making you miss, quietly exposing mistakes, and racking up rounds while you're still searching for momentum. Teofimo's threat comes from the fact that he can box too, but he decides when to unleash it. When he's focused, small errors turn into big moments almost instantly. Wade pointing out that Teofimo has already been beaten while Shakur hasn't is important, but it's not criticism, it's context. It means Shakur will face challenges Teofimo has already encountered and overcome, while Teofimo must show that past inconsistencies are gone when it truly matters. I love how Wade frames this as boxing returning to its roots, best versus best. No safety nets, no legacy padding. This isn't about who talks better or markets themselves more effectively. It's about who can truly impose their style under pressure. This fight isn't meant to be comfortable, it's meant to reveal the truth. And when analysts stop predicting and simply say, "Let's watch," you know you're witnessing something real.
Realistically go between Shakur and Teo because they're both very technical. Both guys understand the sweet science and fight very smart. No one takes a ton of risks. Teo does have a bit more pop in his shots and can put you down, but if you take the risk of making a massive mistake versus a guy like Shakur, then Shakur will outbox you, outclass you, and take you into deep water. So we'll see. Stylistically, we'll see how this thing goes because I don't see a super over-aggressive Teofimo Lopez. I don't see that. I don't see Shakur getting too out of pocket with him either, but we will have, I think, a very, very high-skill, high-level boxing match.
I'll be honest. I'm gonna be real honest. He was a lot better young.
Coming right after Wade's calm, strategic breakdown, the tone shifts the moment Lonnie B jumps in. Suddenly, we're not in theory anymore, we're in feeling. You can hear it in his voice. This isn't analyst hype, it's "I've been in the gym with these fighters" excitement. I love that perspective, because when someone who's worked pads with Teofimo and seen Shakur up close calls this matchup an atomic bomb, you have to listen. Lonnie B isn't guessing. He's reacting to experience and muscle memory. The way he describes Teofimo's explosiveness is equal parts funny and terrifying. You think you know what power looks like until you're suddenly swapping gloves mid-session and wondering what just happened. On the other side, he talks about Shakur like a puzzle that's almost unfair, so clean, so precise that most people can't even fully appreciate it in real time. The Roy Jones comparison lands perfectly, because that's how history treats fighters of this caliber. When someone makes elite competitors look ordinary, fans question, who has he really faced? Lonnie basically sums it up. Shakur's problem is that he's just too good, and that's a wild problem to have.
And Shakur is phenomenal. I mean, he's just phenomenal, excellent boxer. Cat-like reflexes, sharpshooter, knows what he's doing in there, great ring generalship, know when to use his jab. I mean, Shakur he's so good that it might be to a default. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. You got somebody like Roy Jones, who was so good that he ain't fighting nobody. These guys are number ones. And it's just that he's so good, he make these guys look like nobody. So they say, oh, well, he ain't fought nobody. Why come he just can't be that good?
What really makes this breakdown stand out is how he highlights the danger on both sides without overstating either fighter. He doesn't act like Shakur is untouchable. He straight up acknowledges there are shots Shakur simply cannot afford against Teofimo. That's not criticism, it's reality. Teofimo isn't someone you test lightly. One clean hit and suddenly his confidence spikes, traps activate, rhythms shift, and you're facing a completely different fighter. I also love the Floyd versus Roy analogy because it captures everything in a single line without disrespect. One fighter bends the rules because he can, the other perfects the rules until they feel suffocating. That's exactly why this matchup feels special. Lonnie B isn't hyping a boring chess match or a reckless brawl, he's saying this is jazz versus jazz. Two masters improvising in entirely different ways. If Shakur doesn't break down Teofimo's confidence early, things could get dangerous fast. If Teofimo can't disrupt Shakur's calm, he'll spend 12 rounds chasing shadows. That's the tension. That's the beauty. This isn't about highlight reels or style points. It's about who can stay true to themselves when their opponent pushes them out of their comfort zone. And when someone who's watched both camps calls it a classic, that's not marketing, it's a warning.
Because Tio, he's one of those guys. Once he feels once he touched some skin, that get him going, get him warmed up. Like, okay, he gets more brave. Like, okay, the wheels start going. Oh, I can do this. I can do that. I can do this. I can do that. And you can see him putting the
when he's in the zone, it's almost impossible to stop it because he's tapping his back of his heel and he's setting up different traps and his confidence. It's like the key factor of his fight, right?
There we go.
If his confidence is here, you can almost kiss the fight goodbye. So Shakur has to rip his confidence from the second the fight starts and keep it that way, because if not,
there we go. He got to keep that gas tank on.
When you put it all together, it's no longer about who talks the loudest or seems most confident. It's about whose identity holds up under pressure. Teofimo Lopez is sharpening his belief, layering structure onto chaos, convincing himself that ownership of the fight matters and moments belong to him. On the other side, Shakur Stevenson is perfecting control, trusting the process over distractions, and preparing to let patience smother urgency. Then you factor in Shane mostly reminding us this fight is about will, Wade Plemons framing it as boxing finally operating the right way, and Lonnie B showing us what these fighters really look like in the gym. Different perspectives, same conclusion. This fight isn't safe, it's not comfortable, and it's far from predictable. It's a clash of philosophies. Does disruption break discipline? Or does discipline neutralize disruption? That's the question the ring will answer. No hype, no excuses, just 12 rounds of pure truth, where styles aren't merely clashing, they are being tested. This is the kind of fight that doesn't just produce a winner, it reveals who you truly are when your best version faces someone else's best. Drop your thoughts in the comments, let's get into it. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Boxing Stories.